I got this Supercharger on Amazon for $300 and we're gonna put it in my $300 drift car. Last time we tried the $100 Timu Supercharger and it was a disaster. Did we just blow up the motor? In fact, we did. The plastic-coated rotors shredded and went straight into our engine. Will we make way more power or will we blow another motor? Let's get started and find out.
I'm terrified. This is so much work to essentially replicate a disaster.
Lots of smoke. This time, it's gonna work. We'll get it tuned, we'll take it to the dyno. So stick around, this thing is gonna rip. She runs like a dream. Let's go ahead and change that and add a Supercharger.
Already working on it.
We are so dumb. It drives so good. This is the best it's ever driven. Let's ruin it.
I absolutely won't stand for it. We have to go blow this thing up.
This is all for you guys, for your entertainment.
That is a cold-hearted lie. You want more power, baby.
Does need more power for drifting. So we're ripping the intakes off. We're gonna make sure that our rotors aren't plastic like before.
Moment of truth.
Oh no, they're still plastic. It looks like plastic with silver spray paint. There's some added risk now.
I don't like this.
I think we still gotta try it.
We don't have any more motors. When we tried this last time, we had at least one extra motor. I can feel it sucking in my cheek. Routing this thing is gonna be a huge pain. But there's a chance we can make that work.
What if you do it like this?
I guess, yeah. So we're gonna try and mock up some fashion of mounting this thing. This guy is roughly there. And that's how we'll mount the top half. The bottom half, we'll just have some angle iron running down to our frame, I think.
We got a bracket.
Certainly the beginnings of one.
Something. Mika, quiet on the slopes.
Actually, I'm gonna put 2 tacks on that just to be safe. Oh, it's upside down. God, this is heavy and awkward to hold and poorly balanced.
Bigger just means it's gonna make more power though. You have to remember that.
What could go wrong? Last time with less power, we grenaded the motor. But this one's plastic too. I'm usually pretty optimistic on these builds. I'm going on the record very pessimistic about this one. I'm gonna give it everything I got because I don't want to have to build this again. But the plastic rotors got me shook, I'll be honest.
It's not ideal. We've got a Supercharger mounted. This thing is looking dialed. Next all we gotta do is belt tensioner.
Unfortunately, we didn't save anything from last time, so I've got to remake our bracket for this guy to bolt on, and it'll hopefully provide some tension.
It's very funny reading the comments from the first video. There's tons of people that say, that belt is too loose. And then there's also tons of people that say, that belt is way too tight. We appreciate everyone's advice, regardless of if it's accurate or not. Are you wearing brand new shoes in the shop today?
These were not intended to be worn today. They were $3 at Goodwill. This bad mamma jamma will sit somewhere about there and apply tension just to our belt. Look at that! That's phenomenal. I thought this was gonna suck. That was one of the most painless parts of this whole thing. Drill some holes, get this thing mounted, and we'll start playing around with our angles and our dangles, and we'll go from there. So because we have power steering on this car, it means we have power steering problems. We have to figure out how to route all these hoses in a way that won't get in the way of our belt or our tensioner or our supercharger or our inlet or our outlet. It's just that. Fortunately, I left everything loose last night, so I accidentally already drained all the power steering fluid. So hopefully it's not as messy as I think it's gonna be.
Whoa! Explosion.
Did I get the camera?
No, I don't think so.
That was wild. Oh yeah, we're good. Sweet.
We're fully committing. We're going all in. This Supercharger is definitely gonna work.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Gavin has so little faith.
We opened it up and it's plastic again. I might have done this wrong. I was picturing it going in the car this way. It's gonna go in the car this way. For someone who's built this before, I sure don't know what I'm doing. Oh, nope, I know what we're gonna do. I'm gonna cut this and then I can weld tabs onto that. If we're doing it wrong, this will work great. this is really satisfying. This is worn to exactly the perfect diameter of this.
Getting towards the exciting part. We are not too far away, actually, from being able to fire this thing up.
And we're going to learn from our mistakes and hopefully not blow up this one. Or we will, and you guys will absolutely roast us in the comments.
How's she sound?
I'm just quadruple checking that we're not installing this backwards. Woo, that is gonna really tighten that belt. I'll tell you that for free.
Went to O'Reilly's and got 4 different size belts. Hopefully one of these is somewhat close. And they definitely did pull the, but what car is it for? It's like, I know I'm not the only one that does this, that uses the front of the engine as the table to put your extra parts. There is a reason we shouldn't do this. The belt fell into...
Hopefully this isn't the right size because it'll never grip. Well, it's just belt conditioner. That's horsepower, baby. That's not terrible. I'm honestly not sure if I'm excited or bummed that we're at the moment of truth.
It's going to work. You're always the excited one.
Only because we've done this exact thing before, and while I am crazy, I'm not insane.
This is a totally different China Supercharger. This one is made for bigger engines. So that is the key.
So there's more plastic that will end up in the car, and that's what you want. It feels weird being this much of a negative Nancy. I'd love to be wrong. This is one of those few instances. Well, fine tuning.
We're gonna pour out whatever it shipped with and make sure and put in specific supercharger oil.
That seems like perfectly healthy oil to me. So it came with like traditional gear oil. This is basically vegetable oil. Not sure what a difference that makes, but we're gonna find out.
All right, the supercharger is going in for the last time before we get to test it.
Yay!
This thing looks absolutely ridiculous. If you want to see it in person, we're going to be at Slush Festival at Pikes Peak International Raceway in Colorado Springs on May 25th. The event is going to be awesome. We're going to have the drift car, the off-road car. We'll be giving ride-alongs. You get to see the supercharger in person. If the supercharger doesn't work, we'll throw the turbo on it and we'll have something awesome. We are going to learn from our mistakes. We're not running the intake into the engine quite yet. We're going to run it just into the air first to see if the plastic explodes and shoots into the air and not our motor. Will it blow up in the first 3 seconds? We're about to find out.
You ready?
Ready?
Car's not.
Shout out to our anti-gravity microstart for saving us once again. Hey, it's spinning! Lots of smoke. I don't know where that was coming from. I don't think that has anything to do with the supercharger though. All right, take 2. It's not good, you guys. I don't know what's going on. The motor sounded bad.
Did it blow up even faster than the $100 one?
It doesn't sound good. I don't know. I don't see any plastic chunks anywhere. You guys, I've wanted this to be successful so bad. This was not a failure point I was thinking of. So we've replaced the mass airflow sensor, the alternator, the spark plugs, the spark plug wires. Still no luck. So we're gonna try switching the coil and see if that does it.
Woo, baby, please work.
Hey, we did it! Nice! Oh. We have a car again, woohoo! Now let's supercharge it and not destroy it.
That was so much work and we haven't even blown up a supercharger yet.
Now we get to bolt the supercharger back on. Our friends over at Raceland saw how much body roll our supercharged Exo Miata had and wanted to help. So they sent us a set of their Ultimo coilovers. These things look epic. Let's get them on the car. This is way too much space for a drift car. Luckily, these things will drop the car between 2 and 4 inches. Huge shout out to Raceland for being a supporter of the car and the channel. We appreciate you. So if you're in the market for coilovers, check out Raceland. Link in the description.
Look at that. No fucks at all, dude. Just freaking
It's gonna drift so good now.
How do you feel about the fact that moving forward you're running out of excuses about how your drifting quality is?
Well, we still need more angle. We still need an e-brake. I have so many more excuses.
Look at that, dude.
All right, we went from a fist to not even 2 fingers fitting. The time has finally come. We've resolved all of our issues. Now we get to fire it up and hopefully go for the very first test drive.
I'm real nervous. This one's got me shook.
We gotta think positive. It's going to work. Oh no. Oh, I forgot to plug in the new coil pack. Classic mix up. Okay, take whatever it is. I lost track at this point. It's gonna fire up now. Woohoo! We have a supercharged car! It's pushing so much air. This is crazy. Dude, it works. Let's go for a drive.
It works as much as the old one did at this exact same point. I never even got it above 3,000 RPM.
I thought that was redline.
No, that was like barely touching the throttle. At redline, this thing is going to be unbearably loud.
All right, you guys. For science, we got to take it for a drive. We made it to where the last one blew up, so anything past here is a bonus. We should give it a check and keep going.
Just 1,000 miles an hour, dude. 1,000 miles an hour.
It seems to be working perfect. Let's keep it going.
That was crazy. I didn't even dare go above like 5,200 RPM.
It sounds ridiculous. We have a supercharger. I mean,
It didn't blow up this
Yeah.
time. Rotors still look decent, man. There's no giant melted mess in there.
that proves it. The Amazon supercharger is better than the $100 Temu supercharger.
In all fairness, we haven't plumbed it to the motor yet. So stay tuned. Next time we're going to plumb it up, put bigger injectors in there, get it tuned with a proper ECU, and that'll be the final test. So you don't want to miss that. This thing might make some real horsepower.
And we're definitely taking it to the dyno, so comment down below how much power you think it's going to make. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.